welcome to National Focus. I am Curvia John. In the headlines, Prime Minister Skerrit promises cost of living relief in extraordinary budget. Government to present over $1 billion national budget on August 4th. And Domlec customers to benefit from lower electricity bills in July. The details of the headline stories and more when written.
Escape to Dominica this winter and embrace the warmth of our authentic, natural hot springs. Whether for deep relaxation or therapeutic healing, Dominica's volcanic springs offer an experience like no other. Choose the temperature that's right for you, from soothingly cool to luxuriously hot. A variety of natural hot springs await in the heart of Dominica, the nature island.
Welcome back. Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit has signaled that the 2026-2027 national budget will introduce sweeping reforms aimed at reducing the cost of living and increasing disposable income for Dominicans. Speaking ahead of the budget presentation scheduled for August 4th, the Prime Minister described the upcoming budget as extraordinary, saying it reflects a government that has listened to its people.
I've seen the draft of the budget, and I've also looked at the estimates. And I can tell you that this is an extraordinary budget.
Yes, sir.
The policies that the government will articulate on the 4th is extraordinary. You know, it is really a government that is listening to the people of the country. It is really a government that understands the realities of the households in Dominica, how people live. Is a government that understands what this country needs now based on its interaction with the people of Dominica, various sectors and individuals. And in this budget, is going to be touching every single people.
He noted that reducing the cost of living is a priority in this budget address.
There's going to be a dramatic reform on the customs, and there's going to be a dramatic reform of the income tax regime in Dominica. So on the customs reform, the idea is to reduce on the cost of goods in Dominica from a motor car down to a candle, down to a tin of corned beef. Because we expect that with the savings that the merchants and importers will enjoy at the customs, that those things will be passed on to the consumers on the shelves.
Oh, yes.
You understand? So we are making you keep, as a consumer, keep more money in your pocket or stretch your dollar more. So your dollar should be able to buy you more once that policy initiative is implemented.
He added that the aim is to increase the disposable income of citizens.
And secondly, is by allowing to keep more of the money you work for.
Oh, that's very important.
You understand? Making you keep more of your money that you work for. And so, because you know me, I'm not an income tax person. I've said so many times. But I don't believe in income tax. I believe that people should be allowed to keep the money that they work for and let them spend it how they wish. And so we are on an onward march in this government and this country to eliminate altogether income tax in Dominica.
Amen.
And you will see the next step of a dramatic income tax reform in the budget address, and to look forward to the future, the next budget address, where I believe that income tax, so not this budget, it will be second, the next one.
Yeah.
I believe income tax will be no more in Dominica.
Government will present its financial plans for the 2026-2027 fiscal year when Parliament meets on Tuesday, August 4th, with the presentation of a $1.119 billion national budget. Minister for Finance, Honorable Dr. Irvin McIntyre, is expected to outline government's projected revenue and expenditure for the coming fiscal year, detailing how public funds will be allocated across key sectors. This will be the first meeting of the fourth session of the 11th Parliament. As is customary at this time, Dominica's President, Her Excellency Sylvanie Burton, will inspect a guard of honor and deliver her presidential address. Upon Her Excellency's departure from the chamber, Finance Minister, the Honorable Dr. Irvin McIntyre, will present draft estimates of revenue and expenditure for financial year 2026-2027 and deliver the National Budget Address. Domlec customers will see lower electricity bills in July as a result of a reduced fuel surcharge. Customers using 100 kilowatt hours will save approximately $24, while those using 250 kilowatt hours will save about $61. Commercial customers using 500 kilowatt hours are expected to save about $122, hotels approximately $2,098, and industrial customers about $3,509. Domlec says the reductions represent savings of between 17 and 18% compared to what customers would have paid without the contribution of geothermal energy.
In March, we got 6% of our energy, total energy consumed in Dominica from the geothermal plant. Right? In April, that was progressively increased up to 20-something%. In jumping down to June, most significant, we got 43% of our energy from geothermal, 25% from hydro. So in June, Dominica on a whole, we got 68% of our energy from renewables, right? So that has, a major impact on the sector, and it speaks to the transition that we have all been looking forward to, moving away from diesel, getting a lot more of our generation from renewable energy sources.
For years, electricity costs have been influenced by fluctuations in global fuel prices. But as Dominica increases its use of renewable energy, Domlec says reducing dependence on diesel is helping to create greater stability in electricity cost.
The impact that renewables have on our bills, on the system, right? What we offer to customers, it's really on ensuring that we have price stability, right? Now, when the system was diesel dominant, when diesel fuel was the main source of generation, that cost would fluctuate based on the market prices, right? And as we know, since February, March, we have seen fuel prices skyrocket, right? As I said, if you look at our rates, there was a spike in our rates initially in March, even part of April, as a result of the high fuel prices, because at that time our renewable energy generation was still moderate, right? We were still below 30%. Since then, we have doubled. And if you compare the amount of fuel that we have been using, looking back at March compared to June, we have probably reduced our fuel consumption probably close to 50%. All right. So that essentially, the reduction in the use of fuel is essentially where that price stability comes in.
Dominica's geothermal power plant is now fully commissioned and ready for commercial operation. This means Dominica has taken another significant step towards achieving its target of 100% renewable energy by 2030. 7 young Dominicans are starting a new education journey after officially receiving scholarships from the government of the People's Republic of China. The 3 young men and 4 young women received their scholarship acceptance letter at an award ceremony held on Wednesday, July 29 at the Chinese Embassy. Parliament Secretary in the Ministry of Environment and former recipient of the Chinese Scholarship Program, Honorable Darren Lloyd, told the recipients that they are evidence of the friendship between the two countries.
Every one of you are extremely privileged to have received this opportunity. Out of the dozens, hundreds, and I dare say thousands who would have applied, you were selected as more than just recipients, but as unofficial ambassadors to the Commonwealth of Dominica. You represent the diplomatic ties between our two very friendly nations. And it is our fervent hope as a government that you continue to strengthen these ties between the Commonwealth of Dominica and the People's Republic of China.
Chinese ambassador to Dominica, His Excellency Chu Mao-ming, encouraged the recipients to make the most of this opportunity.
Cherish this rare opportunity and devote yourselves to diligent study. Your time study in China is valuable. Immerse yourselves in academic research. Engage actively with cutting-edge studies. Fully leverage university resources to build a solid expertise. In the future, you can contribute to national development and advance practical cooperation between China and Dominica in trade, science and technology, agriculture, education, and other fields.
Meanwhile, Minister for Education, Human Resource Planning, Vocational Training and National Excellence, Honorable Octavia Alfred described the scholarships as an investment in the country's youth.
Education is the greatest investment any nation can make. And today, this investment is being made directly in our greatest resource, our young people. To the government of the People's Republic of China, thank you graciously. This is more than aid. This is more than help. This is more than just a relationship. This is trust. Trust in our youth, trust in our potential, trust in the friendship between the Commonwealth of Dominica and the People's Republic of China that continues to grow stronger and stronger each year. Thank you for believing in the potential of Dominican students. Thank you for this act of solidarity and friendship that has defined Dominica-China relations for many years.
You're watching National Focus. More when we return.
October is just around the corner. Time is running out. Get confirmed today.
Welcome back. For over 6 decades, the Government Housing Loans Board, established in 1957, has been committed to providing affordable housing loans and solutions to public officers. The board celebrated its anniversary today with a live public address at the government headquarters in Roseau.
From 2020, or the year 2000, so to speak, the Government Housing Loans Board, in its new thrust, a government housing initiative thrust, to ensure that it could reduce the shortage of the housing stock, decided to empower the Government Housing Loans Board by means of no objections, whereby enabling the institution to borrow, and we have borrowed in excess of over $200 million to grant loans to public officers.
Mr. Thomas noted that since Hurricane David, government's housing loans have empowered public officers who are at the lower income bracket.
The government have made available millions of dollars. I don't want to tell you the figure, millions of dollars, and they continue to do so. And I'm saying over $15 million. One, to assist public officers who are the lower income bracket, and also following Hurricane David, when the public officers, like the citizens of the country as a whole, had suffered serious damage in addition to the loss of their dwelling homes. An additional $5 million was given, and also you have heard the government in its last budget making available to the Government Housing Loans Board $10 million to be granted at an interest rate of 2%.
The finance minister says government-backed lending institutions are making a real difference by offering public officers access to loans at significantly lower interest rates than commercial banks.
When we have institutions, and we all know the interest rates from the commercial banks, but when we have institutions set up by the government, considering the plight of the public officers in particular, and we can have interest rates as low as 2%, we have to recognize these are significant interventions in people's lives. Interventions in the sense that it leaves more money in their pockets to do other things, as opposed to having to pay the higher interest rates. And there's absolutely no other lower interest rate you can get than the 2% for resilient homes under the Government Housing Loans Board. So we have to recognize the financial significance, we have to recognize the resilient significance, we have to recognize the empowering of the family, the individuals. I mean, a comfortable home, that's what children need to strive, so you can see the academic performance, etc. A comfortable home is what you talk about in terms of hygiene. So it affects every single thing and every aspect of the development of the individual and the family, and that is what empowers people.
And now for your weather updates. A high-pressure system is expected to be dominant, resulting in relatively occasionally cloudy skies with a few showers. Breezy and gusty winds are forecast over the next 24 hours. Fair air quality is expected as low concentrations of Saharan dust move through the area. Regular outdoor activities can be enjoyed. However, individuals with respiratory sensitivities are advised to take the necessary precautions. Marine conditions will be moderate over the next 24 hours, with waves peaking near 5 feet along the west coast and near 8 feet along the east. Small craft operators and sea bathers are advised to monitor conditions and exercise extreme caution, avoiding coastal beaches where possible. Meanwhile, a tropical wave in the central tropical Atlantic is expected to affect the area from Thursday night. And that's all for this edition of National Focus. Be sure to follow GIS Dominica on Facebook, YouTube, and on Twitter. You can also drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm. From all of us here on the GIS News Production team, I am Curvia John. Thank you for watching, and remember to stay safe.